again. Things you love to see. We don't need gap. Oh, yeah, we do. We do want gap fastest lap. Haven't touched Silverstone in a while. Lap data enabled, track map enabled. We hide that, and we wait and see who is gonna be first car on track here in Silverstone. We have a car leaving the pit lane, and that is a Haas of the Brannons. Of course, we all know the Brannons is not the Brannons. It is Mr. Scotty MT. So it looks like he is going to be the first car out on track. Yes, Frank. Yes. Oh, dearie me. Dearie me. Right. Got MT in the house. What have you got, son? What have you got? Let's have a quick look at how he's qualified. Scotty MT in Australia. He qualified P5 in Australia. And then last week in Bahrain was P4. So maybe, just maybe, Scotty will put it P3 today. Who knows? Who knows? Lots of cars on track behind him. Aston Martin, a Ferrari. Is that an Alpine as well? Of Calvin? Yeah, and his teammate, Famas Wayne, is out there as well. Almost every car out on track already. Wow. Okay, we're going to stay on board with Scotty though. We want to see what Scotty can do. Very, very consistent driver. Very consistent. Very fast. Has he got the pace to get himself onto the podium today? I don't know. It's a tough grid, you know. It is a tough grid. With who are the other fast drivers here? Master G in the Ferrari, he's fast. Kevin in the Aston Martin, he's fast. Mask as well, obviously. Milan, the championship leader as well. But let's see what Scotty can do then. Through the first couple of corners, rides the curb on the left-hand side. You want to avoid the sausage curb on the inside there, else it will just unsettle your car like mad. Foot to the floor, cuts that. What on earth is that? Cuts the apex, lovely. Rear wing open on the Haas. Burning his battery down the straight we go. Flick it in to the left. You can take it a couple of different lines through there. And that is looking very sweet for Scotty MT. Foot to the floor now then as we head down straight towards Copse Corner. Does he take it flat? Yes, he does. No lift at all required for Scotty MT. Up next, Maggots and Beckett's need full commitment through here. That looked okay. Maybe a touch wide on the exit, but it looked alright. It did not look bad at all. He's only got a couple of corners left to go then. Flick it into Stowe, onto the right hand side. Drift out wide to the left again, and he's got 2 corners left to go. I think this is Club Corner, isn't it? I'm awful with Silverstone names. But that looked very nice and neat and tidy from Scotty MT, and the first time that he is going to set is a 1:26.602. That is the time that everyone has to beat. We have an Aston Martin about to cross the line of Kevin, and he can't beat it at 27.1, so he's half a second off in the Aston Martin. We have a Ferrari of Pro crossing the line next. He goes P3 with a 29.5. Calvin goes provisional pole, a 26.539 from him. But what can Master G do in the Ferrari? Very fast driver, rear wing open. The Sauber moves nicely out of the way. I believe that was Milan. So final few corners then for the Ferrari. What can he do? Burning the last little bit of battery. I think Scotty ran out of battery, didn't he? Towards the end of his lap. F1 2019 goes P4 in the Mercedes with Cremo P5 and Bernsey in P6. But Master G crosses the line and he puts his Ferrari up into 6th place with a 27.669. And Masks takes provisional pole. He's the first man into the 125s. We know he's fast. That's obscene. 6/10. 6/10 he's taken provisional pole by in the white liveried Red Bull there. 25.928. Subi and the McLaren goes up into P3. Just half a tenth off Calvin at 126.581 for him. Let's go on board with our championship leader then, Speckbell, or Milan, as he's more affectionately known as, and he's abandoned his lap. He has abandoned his lap. Not a good start for our championship leader here at Silverstone. I'm going to follow Mitch through these final couple of corners. Can he keep it between the white lines? Yes, he can. He's going to cross the line, and he goes P14 in the McLaren. Milan has obviously abandoned his lap. I don't think any of these guys are on flying laps, are they? Kuldu in P11 for the Mercedes. None of those guys are on flying. So nobody's on a flying lap right now. Who's going to be the next one to start flying lap? I think it is going to be Milan, you know. We could let him by there. One of the Mercedes guys. Ultim 461, thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate you turning up and tuning in this evening. Is that a Red Bull? That is Imad in the V-Cup, or Racing Bull. He is starting his first flyer of the evening. Let's see what he can do. He's running the alternate pink and white livery on the Racing Bull. Not really sure what I think about that livery, to be honest. Definitely think I prefer the original. Definitely think I prefer the original. Mask has just put a 25.9 in and then goes, decent. It's more than decent, Mask. Much more than decent. It's very quick. It is simply lovely, Frank, you might say. Simply lovely. I think it's fitting for that Red Bull. Through Cops Corner then, couple of big lifts there for Imad in the Racing Bull. Through to Maggots and Beckett's now running in hot lap mode on his ERS, which is an interesting choice. Can he get a good enough exit? That looked pretty decent. Burns a bit more battery. He's going to run out of battery. There you go, deploy used. He's going to be really slow in these final couple of corners here, because he's got no battery power at all, and he's invalidated anyway. He has invalidated. He comes into the pits, and his first lap is not going to count. Let's go with Kragnar then, doing his first league race. He is a reserve. This is the first time he's actually got into a race with us in the league. So let's see how he goes. Could have been faster since Mask. I think Mask could probably retire right now. He'd probably take pole. But we'll see. If you think you can go faster, Mask, there's only one thing you've got to do. You've got to go out there and do it. As the Williams of Kragnar sweeps through Maggots and Beckett's. Rear wing open on the Williams as we head down towards Stowe. Very low on battery charge. Flicks it into the right hand side. My ego's not that high to retire yet. Really? Are you sure, Mask? I don't know, bro. I don't know. Subi's gone P2 though. Look how close he's got. So that's and Kragnar goes round. Kragnar goes round and he is off the track. His first lap has not gone to plan. He's now going to have to do another lap to get into the pits and try again. Let's go on board with VDL Brad running the OG livery on his Racing Bull. Look at that. It is just much, much better, isn't it? Much, much better. Armin Plays, last week's winner, has just started his flyer as well. So we'll hop on board with Armin after Brad has crossed the finish line on his flyer. A 102.756. And apparently a purple middle sector. We'll see how true that is. Never trust the game when it tells me it's a purple sector. As Brad comes down towards the final few corners then, slams on the brakes, gets it turned in nicely. Burning the last year's battery. He's going to have quite a lot of spare battery left over. As he crosses the line, he goes P3 with a 26.516. Puts himself up into the top 3. I think I saw someone call him Mr. Consistent in their Discord earlier, which is just about right. Calvin though, however, let's see. P4 currently. Rides a lot of curb there through the final couple of corners. Can he improve? Yes, he can. Yes, he can. And he goes half a tenth. Oh, what have I done? He goes half a tenth off mask. So Calvin puts his Alpine up onto the front row. Great effort from him. We're going to hop on board with Armin right at the end of his lap. We've missed most of it. That is his teammate moving out of the way for him nicely, and he invalidates. He invalidates straight into the pit lane for Armin plays. He's got his work cut out for sure. Scotty MT is on another outlap to go again. Kevin is currently in P6 in the Aston Martin. Not going full beats. It's actually run out of fuel. He's run out of fuel. Famas Wayne puts his Alpine up into P7. 9/10 off his teammate Calvin. 9/10 off his teammate Calvin. That's crazy. Hazard is in P8. He's currently the lead Sauber, you know, because Milan, as he's just said in the chat, is struggling. Down in P18 currently. But doesn't have a representative time on the board as of yet. What can Hazard do then? Currently P8 with a 26.948. If he can find 3 or 4 tenths, he will find himself up into the top 5. What can he do? Through Maggots and Beckett's. Maybe a touch hesitant, leaving Maggots and Beckett's, and he's 6,000ths of a second down on his previous best, so he needs to find time in this final sector. He's nearly running out of battery on the run down to Stowe. He is going to run out of battery, isn't he? Down to 3%. Slams on the brakes, turns the car into the left, flicks it back to the right once again, rides the curve really nicely actually. And he crosses the line and doesn't improve. He was half a tenth down on his previous best. So he stays in P8. Imad, let's see what Imad is doing in the V car. What on earth is going on here, gents? I'm not sure what was going on there, to be honest. Maybe rename cops to some mask-related crash thing. No, you shouted at me, Mask. I played the clip and you shouted at me. And now you want it named after you? Right then, Pro Hate in the Ferrari. P16 currently needs to find a little bit of time. Yeah, in fact, he could find a second and a half and not change position whatsoever. Milan has found a little bit of pace, but still can't break into the 126s. So he goes P9 behind his teammate. That is an all-Sauber 4th row alongside Hazard. Hall of Fame. Oh, Pro rides too much curb there. Gets those left tyres onto the grass. That is going to cost him quite a bit of time. And he's running in none because he has invalidated. Bernsey in the Red Bull. P15 currently. How is that not an invalidation? What? I mean, it's cost him a shed load of time. That was nice through there, though. That was really nice for Bernsey. Bernsey is in the process, I believe, of learning no assists, so he is getting there. He is getting there. A little bit of grass on his tyres, but he is a 10th up currently. Excuse me, and a 10th would be enough to gain 3 positions. Currently in 15th. Can he find any more time through this final sector? You can gain or lose a lot of time through these final few corners. He has run out of battery charge though, so that is going to cost him a little bit. He's a little bit of a wobble there as well. Does he improve? Yes, he does, by just over a 10th. And he does indeed go up into 12th place. So a big improvement there for Bernsey. Kragnar then in the Williams with 4 minutes left in this qualifying session. A lot of cars still in the pit lane. Just gearing up, getting the tyres on, getting ready for their final runs in this qualifying session. Kragnar is half a tenth up through the first sector, which is allegedly a purple sector, but we all know, take it with a pinch of salt. Or a grain of salt, as Scotty MT said the other day. A grain of salt, apparently. Down to Copse Corner then for Kragnar. A downshift, maybe a tiniest of lifts, but definitely a downshift through Copse. And let's see how he goes through Maggots and Beckett's. Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. He is a 10th down on his previous best though. So Kragnar, of course, on his previous lap, span off the track in the final corner. So just any sort of time on the board for Kragnar will do him good. I think this is going to be his final effort in qualifying as well. So this is super important. He gets this right. Round the final corner he goes, and he puts his Williams up into P7. Will he stay there? I'm not too convinced that's where he'll stay. But P7 is a decent enough effort for Kragnar in the Williams. The top 5 are still all in the pit lane. So Kevin in the Aston Martin will look to take advantage. Currently he's sitting in P6 as Calvin is the first of that front 5 to come out onto the track to start his out lap. Kevin's going to look to take advantage. The 26.7 currently. He's got to find an awful lot of time if he wants to get himself onto the front row, but that looks very nice indeed. Rear wing open on the Aston Martin. Comes down the straight on the right. He's 0.2 up. That would be good enough to put him up into 4th place right now. How much time can he find through the final few corners here? Burns his last few bits of battery. Flicks it into the left. Flicks it back to the right again. Didn't ride a lot of curb there. Where can he go from 6th with a 26.7 to 4th with a 26.2? He found 4.5 tenths. Alas, that is still only good enough for 4th place. The top 3 are looking very, very quick indeed, and they are all out on outlaps now. Philip Cilio, not mentioned him yet this evening, currently running in none, so I don't think he is on a flyer. Milan is on his outlap. Arman still does not have a time on the board. We'll see how he goes later. Master G, down in the depths of 16th currently. And he will not be impressed. He will not be impressed. Master G looked like he could have won the race last week. But was it Funny Wave Band, I think, last week? Put in an incredible defence, and he just could not get past. He had to go and catch Arman up the road. Just ran out of laps. Just ran out of laps. He was taking time out of Arman, hand over fist. And finished, I think, 2.5 seconds behind him in the end, in 2nd place. So Master G definitely has pace. And 16th is not where he will want to qualify here tonight. Very fast through Cops Corner. As we head in towards Maggots and Beckett's then. We'll be able to see the split time. As he comes through, he takes... Oh, he goes well wide there. Opens up the rear wing. Is he improving? He is, but only by 3 tenths. That would gain him a few positions. He needs to nail this final sector now. That looks pretty good. He's still got plenty of battery in hand as well. He really needs to try and get into the top 10 if he can. 16th is just not going to do it for Master G. Foot to the floor then, and he crosses the line. Just about keeps it on the track. And P11 doesn't make it into the top 10. He doesn't make it into the top 10. Big surprise for him. Who is that about to cross the line? That is Calvin, currently P2 of course. He is going to cross the line next. Can he snatch pole position away from Mask? Round the final corner, he crosses the line. He can! A 25.687. His teammate, Famas Wayne, now crosses the line. He goes P5. 2 Alpines in the top 5. Mask takes it back again. Mask back onto provisional pole. 25.542. What can Subi do? He's currently P3 in the McLaren. In fact, we're going to go on board with him in a second because Arman is about to cross the line. His one and only lap puts him up into 4th place. Right then, all eyes on the McLaren of Subi. Can he break into the 25s? He's got to find 6 tenths if he wants pole. He crosses the line, stays in 3rd place. Video Brad, currently P8 in the Racing Bull. I think he might be the last driver on a lap. Let's see what he can do. Rides a lot of curb there. Round the final couple of corners. Can he improve from P9 and a 26.5? No, he can't. He does not improve. Pole position belongs to Mask. An unbelievable lap time. A 25.5. Wow, wow, wow. Milan just says, oh God. P7 for our championship leader. And what a grid we have. What a grid we have. I think there's a few drivers definitely out of position here. I'm looking at Master G down in P13. Unlucky for some. Definitely unlucky for Master G. I mean, he's going to have to fight his way through the crowd. Crowd? Through the crowd? Through the field? Oh, wow. Ayla? Is that how you say it? Have I said that wrong? If I've absolutely murdered that, please tell me. But thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate you. In fact, I have to chat in followers only, don't I? I forgot about that. But here is our grid then. Mask on pole with Calvin a 10th and a half behind, alongside him on the front row. Subi and Armin 3rd and 4th. Scotty MT P5. Kevin in P6. Milan championship leader in P7. Wayne in 8th. Brad 9th. F1 2019 in 10th. Kragner is 11th with Philip Celia in 12th. Master G is 13th. Hazard 14th. Burnsy in 15th. Imad 16th. Quimo 17th. Pouldu in 18th. Pro in 19th. And Mitch, aka Waterboy, in P20. Do I rate the progress, Burnsy? I absolutely do. I absolutely do rate the progress. I do not have the guts to turn all my assists off. So I've got nothing but respect for those that do. One stop, says Milan. Especially if you're on controller, as Milan is. Right then, tyres. Let's talk tyres. All 3 dry tyre compounds are present on the grid. 14 of our 16 runners have decided that the mediums are the way to go. The outliers are this man in the Aston Martin, Kevin. He has decided to go aggressive from the start. He is going for a soft tyre. As is Burnsy down in P15 in the Red Bull. He's gone for the soft as well. So expect those guys to be pretty racy in the opening laps of this race before they have to then pit. And then we have 2 hard tyre runners as well, both down lower in the order. Hazard in the Sauber, P14, he's gone for the hards. And Quimo in P17 in the Haas, he has also decided to put the hard tyres on for this race start. But the battle I'm interested in, this one here, between Calvin in P2 and Mask in P1. I mean, it's really important for Calvin. He needs to stick with Mask early on. If he can get him on the first lap, fantastic. I'm getting Silverstone 2021 vibes, you know. I really am. With Max and Lewis on the front row together. This is how I feel this is. It's super important. Calvin cannot allow Mask to run away with this. If we get to the end of the first lap and Mask has broken that 1 second on Calvin and he's driving off into the distance, it's GG's. It's GG's. As long as Mask keeps it out of the wall, of course. The timing of that. Oh my word. Where is he? Have I just jinxed him? Did I jinx him? Maybe I did. Maybe I did. Anyway, he takes his grid spot now. On pole position. Frank, what's going on the TikTok? Oh, dear me. Right, everyone is lined up on the grid. As we await 5 red lights. Here we go then. They are on. We have 4. We have 5. And round 3 of VDL Racing League is a go. Looks like Mask gets away very well. I said Calvin needed a good start. He's got a terrible one. And Subi's going to try around the outside. And Subi sweeps up into second place. And Calvin's going to dive up the inside. But Subi manages to hold on to it. Mask, perfect start for him. With Subi P2, Calvin P3. Armin is holding on in P4, and we have a yellow flag, and that is Burnsy. Started on the soft tyres to be aggressive, and he has dropped to last. Who's in the wall? Who's in the wall? It's Master G! Master G has crashed out of the race! Oh my word, we have a safety car, ladies and gents, and that is a stricken Ferrari. The marshal's going to have to sort that out pronto. My word, we have a safety car on lap 1. Oh, dear Lord. What a start we have had. Let's bring up the position changes. Burnsy's got a drive-through. Oh, my God. Bad to worse for Burnsy. He's got a drive-through for speeding under the safety car. And, of course, you can't serve a drive-through under the safety car. So, he's going to have to sit there and wait until the safety car is over to serve it. I miss ABS, says Bernsey. There you go. Crash explained. No ABS. Massacres, I'm going to make it past lap 2. Well, I wouldn't say that just yet. A little dummy there, trying to pretend to pit on lap 1. So, is anybody actually going to pit? We do have one person pitting, and who was that? Not Famas Swain. It's Kragner. Has he got damage? He's on the medium tyres, so the only real reason he has to pit is if he's got damage, or if he's retiring, which I think he would have done by now if he was doing that. He is the only car who's come into the pit lane. What tyres is he? Yeah, he's getting a front range, so he must have picked up damage. Maybe he was involved with Master G. Milan also has wing damage. Don't know what to do. I mean, Milan, you've had a really good start. You're up in P5. Yeah, you can see he's missing that front right end plate. I think you have to. I mean, you do you, but if it was me personally, I would pit and change. I really would pit and change, and then try and one-stop it after you two-stop. But so, Chaz Knight Rider, he's here. He's here. Has he spotted his business up in the top right-hand corner? Because Knight and Davey are our new sponsors of the league. Yes, Chaz. Appreciate you taking the time. I know you're very busy. I know you're very, very busy. You've been away skiing for the week. You're knackered, but you can't wait to come home and play with us, boys. Gutted you are missing the race tonight. Absolutely gutted. But appreciate you tuning in, brother. Appreciate you tuning in. And we're going to run down through the order whilst we sit behind this safety car then. Mask has held on to first place. Started on pole. And he's managed to stay there. P1 for him. Subi had a fantastic start. Got past Calvin around the outside of turn 1. Managed to hold him off in turn 3. Again, around the outside. And he's found himself up into P2. Milan has decided to box. He has decided to box and change those tyres. But also his front wing. Damaged front wing. Kevin's also in. Kevin is also in. Okay. Okay. Hello, Dime K42. 20th. Ski, was Master G your race winner prediction? No comment. No comment. No comment. We don't talk about that. We don't talk about that. Bernsey is also in for a pit stop. I wonder if he has got wing damage. He's still got wing damage. Bernsey, change your wing. Oh my god, this race is going to go bad to worse for Bernsey. Didn't even change my wing. Yeah, I know. I've just seen it. Oh, dearie, dearie me. Right, anyway, through the order. Musk, P1. Subi, P2. Calvin in P3. Chaz, that is your reserve this evening. Calvin, he's sitting pretty in 3rd place. Started 2nd. Missed out on pole by a 10th and a half. But is currently in 3rd. Armin and Scotty MT, they're always next to each other on the track. Always, always, always. You tune into any race this season, and Armin and Scotty MT will be next to each other on the track. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. But Armin's P4, Scotty MT P5, Famas Wayne in P6, F1 2019 in P7 for the Mercedes. Then is a double V car. Don't be fooled by the fact they're running different liveries. They are teammates. They're both racing for Racing Bull. It is Brad in P8 and Imad in P9. Hazard rounds out the top 10 for Sauber. Quimo in P11 with Pauldu P12. Philippe Silla, I'm just going to call him Philippe from now on. P13. Mitch is up into P14. Come on, Mitch. Pro in P15. My word, Pro, you've nearly rear-ended Mitch. Kragler P16, Kevin P17, Milan P18, and Burns in P19. And as I say that, the safety car is coming back into the pit lane. And that means that Mask will become the de facto safety car. Let's bring up the telemetry. There we go. Safety car is back in the pits. It is now entirely up to Mask when we go racing once again. Will he catch Subi napping? When does he go on the exit of this corner, I reckon? Takes it nice and wide. And then, oh my word, he has a big snap. Oh my god. Oh my god. Subi's going to have the run on him. As we head towards turn 1, he just sits behind him. But Mask having all sorts of problems there, putting the power down. And that has put him under huge pressure from the McLaren of Subi, who has had a fantastic start to this race. As we head around turn 3, turn 4 and turn 5. Subi now sensing an opportunity. Burning battery, but so is Mask. And Mask is going to survive and holds on to first place. Frank says that Mask hasn't got the bottle. Mask reckons he does have the bottle. But let's wait and see. Meanwhile, down at the back, Pro drops down to 18th. Milan is making moves. Look at this for racing. Milan trying to go around the outside of Kevin in the Aston Martin, but cannot make the move stick. Kevin trying to have a look at Kragnar in the Williams as well. Very, very close racing there indeed. Oh my word! What's going on here? Burnsy looking to go around the outside of Pro into Cop's corner, but cannot make the move stick. The top two pulling away from Calvin just ever so slightly now. I say ever so slightly, it's nearly 7 tenths, and Subi is just 3 or 4 tenths behind Mask. He needs to stick with him. He needs to stick with him. DRS, of course, will get activated at the end of this lap. You do 1 lap after a safety car before the DRS is activated, and then Subi will have a great opportunity to take the lead in this race. Mask sets a new fastest lap of the race, a 29.910. He's currently leading the way. He's got half the battery that Subi does behind, and Subi is going to get the added benefit of opening up his rear wing in just a couple of corners time. As we head around the corner, you can see the rear wing now open on that McLaren. That is going to help him. He's not going to get an overtake done on this particular lap, but that will help him close the gap. Burns says, watch this redemption, as he types from the pit lane. He's still got wing damage. He's done his drive-through. He's just done his drive-through, isn't he? But he does still have wing damage. Cracknar's in the pits as well. He is coming out back up onto the track. Right there, Mask trying to recharge his battery because he's got a 30% deficit to Subi behind. As we head through Maggots and Beckett's, of course, the dirty air mechanics on this game make it very tricky to follow through Maggots and Beckett's. But Subi did a great job there. And he's got DRS once again. So does Calvin behind, and Armin, and Scotty MT. In fact, all the way down to Famas Rain in P6, they have DRS. A little bit of a train beginning to form with the front runners as we come towards the end of lap 5. Of course, crucial that these guys look after their tyres as well. If you can one-stop this, that's what you need to do. Of course, a safety car will help. Running a couple of laps at a very slow pace, that will help you look after those tyres. So I'm expecting most of these leading guys, as Mask goes very wide there. That is giving Subi all sorts of encouragement. He's got more battery. He's going to get DRS as well. And Mask, yeah, he's going to hold on to P1 again here. Subi not quite close enough to make a move. Any close fights going on further down the grid? We've got Brad having a look at the rear wing of a Mercedes F1 2019, currently sitting in 7th place. And Brad looking to get a little bit racy. I don't know if he's being held up, but he will feel confident that he can overtake the Mercedes. 2019 does not have the added benefit of opening his rear wing, because he is 1.5 seconds as Brad goes slightly wide there off the track at Cops. But other than that, yeah, it looks okay. He needs to try and get past this Mercedes and catch up to that leading pack. As Subi is gaining on Mask into Stowe. Not quite close enough, but he's putting enough pressure on Mask, who drifts slightly wide there. And Subi is right on his gearbox. Does not attempt it up the inside. He stays behind in 2nd place for now, but look how much closer he is. As Famas Wayne comes into the pits already. He must have wing damage, I thought. Look how close Subi is. He's pushing that Red Bull around the first few corners. He's running in none, charging up that battery. Again, he's got 30% more charge as Mitch speeds in the penalty lane. Yeah, Mitch has got 10 seconds. Rear wing open then for the McLaren of Subi. Musk is burning his battery away to stay ahead of Subi, who is being very, very conservative with his battery. Yeah, Chaz, I got my words so wrong. So wrong. 85% tyre wear after 5 laps. It wouldn't surprise me with Wayne. Wayne's tyre wear is abysmal. Kragnar sets a new fastest lap for Williams on the hard tyres. 29.434. The front 3, front 4, front 5 now. Look how far Brad has actually overtaken F1 2019 now. Up into P6. But look how much time he's lost to the guys ahead. It's a near 3-second gap that has opened up. So Brad really does have his work cut out if he wants to catch these guys at the front. And here comes Subi on Mask up the inside into Snow Corner. Can't get the move done. Backs out of it at the last. Here he goes. He's going to burn battery into the left-hander up the inside. Goes the McLaren. Musk gives him plenty of space and holds on to first place. But Subi's going to come straight back out again into the final corner. They're side by side as we start lap 8. Subi marginally ahead. Mask trying to flick it up the inside once again. This is a tremendous battle. Mask going to dive up the inside into turn 3. Gets the move done. Who's going to get DRS here? I've absolutely no idea. They're still side by side. I said I was getting Max Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton vibes. That is exactly what's happening. It's Mask who gets the DRS. He burns his battery and pulls away. And after all that, he still holds on to first place. But look how close the top 5 are now. Subi right behind, Calvin there, Armin there, Scotty MT there as well. And it's helped Brad. Brad's taken half a second out of that leading quintet. 2.5 seconds now, the gap between himself and fifth place Scotty. Right then, unbelievable racing. I know, absolutely unbelievable, Frank. Through Maggers and Beckett, Subi running in the dirty air of Mask gets a little bit wide on the exit. That is going to give Calvin a little bit of encouragement. Sitting in the slipstream of the McLaren. He's going to dive up the inside, is he? No, he backs out of it at the last. Subi looking very interested on the Red Bull in front once again. A couple of cars, maybe, just maybe, pushing track limits to the limit as we head through this final sector then. We have Aston Martin on Aston Martin as Kevin down in P13 has got past his teammate Philip, who drops down to 14th place. In fact, I think Philip has come into the pit lane. Yes, he has. Let's bring up tyres, shall we? And see what tyres people are running. No more softs on show currently. Mediums and hards are the order of the day. Thomas Wayne has come out in P16 on his fresh tyres. Subi has dropped back a little bit now from Mask. Still within DRS, but the top 5 not fighting each other anywhere near as hard as they were on the previous lap. That was mental. It's good news for Brad though. That gap is now down to nearly 2 seconds. So he is starting to catch those guys ahead. And he is very, very close as well to breaking the DRS to the Mercedes behind him as well. So Brad is starting to make moves. We're going to follow this again through Maggers and Beckett's. Subi once again in the dirty air of Mask. Can he get a better exit this time around? Yes, he can. He opens up his rear wing as well. Lap 9 of 26. Burns a little bit of battery just to close up on Mask, but not close enough to attempt an overtake this time around. Is he going to go for a move down here? No, he's not. Okay, so any more overtakes going on anywhere else? Milan is up into 12th place. Made a very early pit stop to change his front wing. That is why he is out of position as Famas Wayne goes past Pro for P14. And I need to keep flicking back to this battle as well, because I feel like every time we get to this section of track, anybody could get an overtake done in this top 5 as Quimo picks up a 3-second time penalty. Currently running P10 is Quimo. That is very impressive indeed. So kudos to Quimo. The way Subi deals with dirty air is mad impressive, Sir Frank. He's doing really well. He is doing really well. Just managing it for now, I feel. Sitting behind Mask. Maybe he's going to try and undercut him. I don't know. I don't know at what point we're going to see pit stops. Not too far away, I wouldn't think. 10 laps on a medium, 16 on a hard. Of course, we did have a couple of laps under a safety car, so maybe... Oh, Mask has spun! Mask has bottled it! Mask said he had the bottle. Oh, my word. He rejoins the track right in front of Brad. And Brad, in the Racing Bull, has now got the Red Bull in front of him. Oh, my word. Deary me, Mask. He drops down to P5. And that means our new race leader is Subi in the McLaren. The top 5 has become a top 4. And Scotty MT has pulled the trigger. And he comes into the pit lane. Picks up 10 seconds. No, Scott. Oh, my God. Scotty MT picks up a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. He was looking to undercut the guys in front. But instead, he just ruled himself out of the race win. Oh, no. Deary me. So, 5 has just become 3 in the space of half a lap. Wow. Subi, Calvin, and Armin are your top 3. That is who... Wow, it looks like that is going to be the 3 drivers fighting for the race win. And look how close they are. Look how close they all are. Subi leading away with Calvin in P2. Armin right behind in P3. Did Brad pit? Brad did pit. So did Mask as well. So Brad is still behind Mask. Armin's going to shit house a win again, isn't he? Can I check Subi's wing? I can. I think it's absolutely fine. I had a look a second ago. It looks absolutely fine. Yeah, you can see both end plates on there. So his front wing is fine. I don't think he actually made any contact with him. I think Mask lost it by his own. I think Subi did well to avoid. But Subi is now leading the way. Wow. What a couple of laps we have just had. Subi staying out. Calvin comes into the pits. Armin also into the pits. Don't get a 10-second, lads. Oh my God. That is the most cautious pit lane entry I've ever seen. Calvin was so careful not to pick up a 10, which meant Armin had to be even more careful not to pick up a 10 and not to rear end the reserve of Calvin into the pit lane. That would have been absolute disaster. What tyres do they go for? They go for hard tyres. Are they going to undercut Subi? Where is Subi? Here he is. He's burning his battery, giving it hell for leather because he knows he is at risk of an undercut from both Calvin and Armin here. Scotty MT has actually undercut both of those guys, but of course, with his 10-second time penalty, that is not good news. And Mask is actually in front of Armin. Burnsy picks up 10 seconds. Mask has actually ended up in front of Armin. So is Mask still in play for this race win? He may well be. This is absolutely mental. Subi is going to have to come into the pits on this lap. And he's going to be behind Scotty. He's going to be behind Calvin. I mean, we could see Subi come out behind Brad. That cautious entry has killed Armin, not his fault, but yeah, it's just one of those things. You have to be careful, don't you? Where is Subi? Is he coming in? Yes, he is. Don't pick up a 10, Subi. Excuse me. He manages to negotiate the pit lane speed limiter without any penalty. So this is going to be super interesting to see where he comes out. Milan is going to take the lead of this race. Of course, he does have to do another pit. Well, he doesn't have to do another pit stop, but he will have to do another pit stop. There is Subi then, trundling down the pit lane. He's got his fresh hard tyres on. Where are the other guys? Scotty MC is just rounding the final couple of corners now. Where is Subi? There he is. Scotty MT is in front. What about the other guys? Can Calvin get past him? No, he can't. Subi rejoins in P6. And that is still a provisional race win. Mask having a look up the inside, but not getting the move done on Calvin. And now he is at risk from Armin plays behind. Mask has got almost no battery left at all in his Red Bull, so he could be at risk. Calvin looking to get past the McLaren of Subi, who would have fresh hard tyres on, need to get them up to temperature as quickly as he possibly can. And it looks like he is doing just that. A good in-lap from Subi? Yeah, I think he dumped his battery. Yeah, he's got no charge whatsoever. He definitely dumped his battery. He knew that that in-lap was absolutely critical. And he's rejoined in, wow, provisional race win with Scotty with the 10 seconds in front. Subi looking like he is in a really, really good spot so far in this race. Meanwhile, out front, it's the two Salbers. Milan in P1, Hazard in P2, with Kevin in the Aston Martin P3. But I am expecting all three of these guys to come into the pits once again, as Calvin does get past Subi. That is an overtake that I have missed. But Calvin gets past Subi, puts that Alpine up into 6th place. So we've got Scotty MT in P5, Calvin in P6, Subi in P7, Mask in P8, Armin in P9, Brad in P10. So that is our provisional front 6. But of course, important to remember, Scotty MT, or the Brannons, he has a 10-second time penalty. But he decided to put a gap on Calvin, look. 1.9 seconds the gap. So don't rule Scotty out just yet. But it would be impressive as Mask sends it up the inside of Subi, who then in turn goes up the inside of the following corner. Who is going to get the better exit here? Subi manages to just about hold on to 7th place, and Armin and Brad are lurking behind, watching every move here. And Mask has got work to do. He was leading this race. Looked like he may have been pushing just a bit too hard. Lost his car, and that has meant he has ended up right back in amongst the thick of things. Is that the saying? I don't even know if that's the saying. I really don't know. Meanwhile, what's this? Well, Scotty MT going past Thomas Wayne. That's fine. Milan comes into the pits. I'm assuming he is going to put on a set of medium tyres onto that Sauber. Scotty MT rounding the final couple of corners here. Anything interesting going on? Not really. All just holding position for now. Milan needs to come out as high up this order as he possibly can. Possibly he's going to come out in... Is he going to be in front of Philip in P13? Or he's going to be behind Philip. He's going to be behind Philip and Quimo. So Milan has got work to do. Fresh hards, they will do him very nicely to the end. He's come out very close to the Haas of Quimo. With the cold tyres, Milan needs to get past these guys as quickly as he can. He cannot be held up. Meanwhile, I'm missing all sorts up here. What on earth is going on here? We've got cars all over the track. Calvin is in P4. Subi's still there. Then Mask has got past Famas Wayne. And now Armin has got a car between himself and Mask. That is not ideal for him. Nearly runs into the back of Wayne. Goes wide, as does the Alpine in front. But Armin really needs to dispatch this Alpine as quickly as he possibly can. He cannot lose sight of those cars in front if he wants to win and potentially extend his championship. No, but he's not extending his championship lead. If he wants to take the championship lead, he does indeed use DRS to his advantage and get past the Alpine of Famas Wayne as the front two, Kevin and Hazard, both come into the pit lane. Famas Wayne comes into the pits again. Already for Wayne. 10 laps to go. Set of mediums possibly for Wayne there. But knowing Wayne's tyre wear, another set of hards might be the way to go. That's on. It is indeed another set of hards. So that will be Wayne to the end then on those hard compound tyres. Right, so Scotty MT leading the way. The guys behind have managed to catch him up, so I can pretty comfortably say Calvin's going for the overtake. He doesn't want to inherit the race win. He wants to win it on the track. He's going around the outside of the Haas Alpine into the lead of this race. Scotty MT slots in behind as we head down the straight towards Copse Corner. So Calvin is now in the lead of this race. Scotty MT behind in P2 with Subi in P3. Mask is in P4 with Armin P5. He's managed to just about hold on to the coattails of that leading pack. And VDL Brad 1.2 seconds off Armin. He needs to get himself into the DRS. He cannot lose He cannot lose the DRS to the guys in front. Anything could happen still. Anything could happen. Any one of these front 6 could win the race. Apart from Scott, I'd say. But Subi is going for the overtake on Scott. Never mind the 10 seconds. Scotty MT is going backwards in this race. Down from P1 to P3 in the space of a lap. And up next behind him is the Red Bull of Mask with 14% battery. Is Mask going to get this done very quickly? He needs to. If Mask wants to win this race, he needs to get past the Haas and keep up with Subi and Calvin ahead. And look, he's almost pushing that Haas around the corners. Very nicely done by Mask there, but can't get past. Scotty MT also has DRS here, and he's going to keep Mask behind. So Mask can't quite get the overtake done just yet. This will be super frustrating for him. Although, what will be good for him is Calvin and Subi are not really disappearing off into the distance. Although, Scotty MT is nearly outside of 1 second from the guys in front. So Mask really does need to get this overtake done pronto. Brad is dropping back 1.7 seconds now behind Armin. Let's stick on board with Subi because he's going to get DRS on Calvin. And he's burning his battery as well, but so is Calvin. So I don't think we're going to see an overtake here. We are going to see an overtake here though. Mask gets past Scotty MT up into the podium places then. P3 for Mask, but he's got a job to do as we have more yellow flags in the middle sector. That is for Burnsy in the Red Bull. Off track once again for him. No safety car required for that one though. Right, Mask, can he catch up to the front pair of Calvin and Subi as we see Hazard having a great old ding-dong with Philippe, who comes into the pit lane. He's only done 8 laps on those hards. He comes into the pit lane. Quimo as well. Quimo's in the pit lane. He's only done 6 laps on mediums. Have these guys got damage? Have I missed something? Are they getting their front wings changed? Aston Martin? No. No. Just straight up tyre change there for those guys. Okay. Alright. Interesting. Calvin still leading the way with Subi in P2. Mask is trying desperately to catch up. He's burned his entire battery to try and catch up to the guys ahead. So he's going to be very slow as Mitch picks up 3 seconds. And Scotty MT now picks up 3 seconds as well. 13 seconds of time penalties for Mr. Scotty MT. Not good news. This is going to drop him a whole heap of positions. Possibly as far as P9. Let's see how the final 8 or 9 laps unfold. But currently, 13 seconds will drop him miles back. Yeah, P9. He comes into the pits. Scotty MT comes into the pits. Is he retiring? He is retiring. Scotty MT's day is done. He retires in the pit lane. Wow. I know I was bigging him up earlier saying he's a very consistent driver and he's just DNF'd on me. Deary, deary me. Right then. So that is Scotty MT out of the running. And is any one of this top 4 now. I think we can rule Brad out. He's dropping pace to the guys in front. Nearly 3 seconds is the gap. So I think we can, unless something wild happens, I don't think Brad is going to win this race. So it's Calvin out in front currently with Subi in P2, Mask in P3, and Armin is dropping back from the leading trio as well. He is now 2 seconds back from Mask. So we've very, very rapidly become a leading trio of Calvin, Subi and Mask. So let's see how that one unfolds. We're going to run down through the order. Calvin in P1 with Subi P2. Mask in P3, Armin in P4, Brad in P5, Imad in P6. So the Racing Bulls, 5th and 6th, looking very, very handy indeed. Milan, great recovery drive from him so far. He is up into 7th place. That could become 6th if he can overtake Imad in the next couple of laps. So far so good for Milan. Really good recovery drive after damaging his wing early doors. F1 2019 in the Mercedes, currently in P8 with Kevin in P9. Hazard rounds out the top 10 for Sauber. Pouldu P11. Famas Wayne P12. Philippe in the Aston Martin P13, Kuro 14th, Kragnar in 15th. Pro is there in 16th with Mitch 17th and Bernsey down in 19th. He has had some issues this afternoon. Armin is going to get DRS off a lapped car. GG's, yeah. Armin gets DRS off which. But it's not really going to help him out too much, I don't think. He's not catching the guys out front. Now 2.5 seconds back off the leading trio. Are we about to see a new championship leader? I think as things stand, it would be Armin Blaze, wouldn't it? As Kragnar sets a new fastest lap. That does, of course, come with a extra bonus point as well. As the Sauber of Milan goes around the outside of Imad and up into P6 for Milan. As Imad goes slightly off the track there. No time penalty coming his way, though. Manages to slow down just enough, avoided the track limit warning, and he slots in behind Milan in P7. What's happened to Mask here? He's dropped back a little bit, outside of 1 second of the guys in front. Mask said earlier that he had the bottle. I'm starting to doubt this man. As Mitch speeds in the pit lane again. Another 10 seconds for Mitch, dearie me. Keep going, Mitch. Keep on going, brother. Practice makes perfect. You will get there. I'm sure of it. I'm absolutely sure of it. Right then, lap 21 of 26. 5 laps to go. Am I saying that Mask is a waffler? I'm saying that Mask is very quick. But the consistency's not there at the moment, is it? I mean, he's P3 right now. If he nails every lap, he wins the race. But P3 right now. I'm 1.1 seconds off Subi in P2. This could become a battle between Calvin and Subi very, very quickly if Mask does not sort his stuff out. That was nice. That was really nice through Cops. And it's got him back within a second. But will he lose time through Maggots and Beckett's? 9.5 tenths. Is he going to get DRS? Yes, he is going to get the DRS. But he didn't get the best of exits through Maggots and Beckett's. That will hamper him. Hamper him. Subi closing in on the Alpine of Calvin. But I think Calvin may have got DRS off, I think that's Pro in the Ferrari. Goes to Ferrari because he is being lapped. But Calvin is going to start lap 22 in the lead. They've got almost identical battery charges in the Alpine and the McLaren out front. So this is going to be an absolutely stunning fight. It could go down to the last lap. It really could. There's 1 lap of tyre difference between them. Calvin's done 10 laps. Subi has done 9. As Famas Wayne picks up 3-second time penalty. I think he got that. Making an overtake, maybe? I don't know. He's battling with the Mercedes and Paul do. And Wayne holds on to P11. Holds on to P11 or takes P11? I think he's taken P11. But P11 for the Alpine. While out front, his teammate was leading, but not anymore, because Subi is that man. He is now in the lead of this race. The McLaren. Calvin's that session. No, Calvin. Have I got Calvin? Yeah, invite sent, Calvin. Get yourself back in here. This is going to cost him a race win. This could cost him a race win. Is it going to cost him a podium even? Oh no. This is not how Calvin wanted his race to end. He was on course for a huge battle with Subi for the race win. Oh no, he's dropped out of the top 2 now. This is an absolute nightmare for Calvin. He's joined. He's back in. Right. Take control of your car. Armin is starting to close in. Armin can sniff a podium once again. Oh, wow. It's so unlucky. He's still not got control of his car just yet. Armin is rapidly closing that gap. He's almost within a second. He's almost there, is Armin. There he is. As Calvin got control, he's still ghosted. Oh my God. Armin's there, look. Armin's got the DRS. He's going to get into the podium places. He's closing the gap on Calvin's AI car. And Armin's through. Armin's up into the podium places. Calvin's got control. Calvin is back in the game. Right, Calvin. Go and salvage the podium. Oh, my word. Nearly lost it on the curb there. But this is GG's. Subi's got this in the bank, surely. 2.5 seconds is the lead on Mask in P2. I wonder if Mask has had a little off somewhere. Because Armin is only 1.6 seconds behind him now. So I just wonder if Mask has had an issue somewhere. But Calvin is right on the tail of Armin once again. He's got DRS as we head down the straight. He's burning his battery. He's wasting no time whatsoever in getting himself back on the podium. He sweeps around the outside of Armin. And the Alpine is back up into 3rd place. Now, can he go on and catch Mask and salvage a 2nd place? He looked like he could have won, but a disconnect, unfortunately for him. We managed to get him back in as quickly as we possibly could. Can he now go and catch Mask and take P2 back away from the Red Bull as Pro picks up a 3-second time punch? F1 2019 is pitting with just a few laps to go. He's done 12 laps on those hard tyres. Maybe struggling with tyre wear. He's got mediums for a couple of laps. I would have gone for a set of softs myself. I know they wear very quickly, but only for a couple of laps. They would have done the job. Calvin then, look, he's right on the tail of Mask. And Armin is coming with him. So this is not over. I think the race win is done and dusted. Subi has got this one sorted. Just keep it between the white lines. I mean, he could even afford to pick up a 3-second time penalty and still win. Does Milan have fastest lap? Fastest lap is Kragnar in P15 in the Williams currently. And tell you what, let's keep gap detail none. There we go. Right, let's see. Calvin on Mask up the inside into Snow corner. Maybe just squeezed a little bit, but Mask is not going to let this 2nd place go without a fight. We're coming around the final couple of corners to start the penultimate lap. Lap 25 of 26. And Armin's looking good to take the championship lead because he's in P4 currently, but he will overtake Milan in the standings the way things currently are. Milan, by the way, P6, is on the tail of VDL Brad. So Milan could even finish P5 here. Armin, look, taking his time, charging his battery, just waiting for those guys in front to make a mistake. Calvin, DRS on Mask, who's burning his battery to defend. Here comes the Alpine. Can he go around the outside? He's having a look, just hanging it there. This is incredible pace from Calvin. Can he snatch 2nd place away from the Red Bull? The race win is gone. Subi 5 seconds up the road now. He has indeed checked out. This is all about the rest of the podium spots. And it's going to be a combination of 2 out of Mask, Calvin and Armin who are going to join him up on that podium. Milan still there in 6th place behind Brad as we come through Cops Corner. How much battery has Brad got? 59% compared to 49% for Milan. But of course, he has fresher tyres on and he will get DRS very shortly indeed. Talking of DRS, Calvin is closing the gap on Mask here, but not quite close enough. It's going to be a final lap shootout for these guys. Brad is managing to hold off Milan currently, and Calvin goes in front of Mask. What's happened? What? Armin's gone past Mask as well. Mask has dropped out of the podium places. He's down into 4th. He's got a puncture. Oh my God. Mask has got a puncture. His front left is punctured. Oh my good Lord. Mask is going to lose all sorts of positions here. Oh my God. Brad, can he catch up? Can Brad catch up with Mask and overtake him on the final lap? We've had puncture drama at Silverstone in real life before, and now we've got it here. Mask has dropped down to 4th place. Has Brad got a puncture? No. Brad doesn't have a puncture, does he? I don't know. His front left is very, very... Oh my God. Mask has definitely got a puncture. Brad does not have a puncture. He's fine. He's fine. But can he catch up to Mask? The gap is 3.7 seconds. Max goes off the track. He's really struggling to keep that Racing Bull under control. Meanwhile, Subi is heading down towards the final couple of corners. We'll hop on board with him shortly. Look how much Mask is struggling. And here comes VDL Brad through Maggots and Beckett's. Mask is right in front of him. Brad is going to steal P4. I'm going to have to break away because Subi's about to cross the line. But can Brad get the move done? Oh, he's so close. Yes, he can. He sneaks up the inside. Subi crosses the line. He wins. Cohen's going to be second. Arman third. And Milan has got Mask as well. Milan is up into 5th place. Can he get past Brad? In the final few corners, does he have the traction to get past the Racing Bull? No, he doesn't. Brad is going to cross the line in 4th. Milan crosses the line in 5th. Unbelievable finish to this race. Mask finishes in 6th place. The front left puncture, it's like Mercedes all over again. Oh my god. Wowza. What a race. Honestly, crazy. I can't believe what I've just witnessed. Wow, Subi finally got some good luck. Subi wins the race. It's almost been forgotten that Subi won the race. I mean, wow. What a final lap. What a final lap. And once again, for the 3rd race in a row, VDL Brad has finished 4th. You just can't write it. Race winner Subi, fastest lap Kragnar in the Williams. Milan gets driver of the day and most overtakes. And Kevin picks up the cleanest driver award. Here we go then. This is how we finish. Subi finishes P1. Calvin disconnected, rejoined, had great pace. He comes home in 2nd. It could have been a race win for Calvin, unfortunately, but he finishes 2nd. Arman Plays rounds out the podium positions in 3rd. Brad and 4th just go hand in hand together in the VDL Racing League. Unbelievable stuff. P4 for him. Milan, what a recovery drive from him. Pitted early on with wing damage. Was right at the back in the opening laps. He finishes in 5th. Mask, with that late puncture, drops to 6th place. With Kevin 7th in the Aston Martin. Imad 8th. Hazard P9. That is a strong showing for Sauber. Famas Wayne rounds out the top 10. F1 2019 in P11 with Philip in P12. Quimo finishes 13th. Pouldu 14th. Kragnar 15th with the fastest lap. Pro 16th. Burnsy 17th. And I believe Mitch, Scotty MG and Master G all DNF'd from the race. Wow. Ladies and gents. Silverstone ending on 3 wheels, done that before, says Bergen. I remember that race, Bergen. I remember you doing that. GG, everyone, says Imad. Crazy. Burnsy overtook Hazard on the last lap. Wow. I missed that one. I apologise.